and they had to go to the unemployment office, you know, see how much they could get, you know, for not working, you know, them guys, you know. Well, they go in there, you know, and they fill out all this paperwork, you know, and yeah, Marvin gets up there first to the lady, and he says, how much you suppose I'll get unemployment, you know? And of course back then they didn't get a whole lot, but you can live on $100 a month easy, you know. So the woman looks over his paperwork and she says, yeah, she says, sewing, huh? You did sewing? Yeah, he says, I did sewing. He says, I worked at a factory, you know, where they do a lot of sewing, and we worked on women's clothes, you know, we did. And yeah. So she says, yeah, she looked in her book, you know, and she says, yeah, for sewing, she says, you could get $25, $30 a week. Well, Marv, he thinks, you know, I could live on that, you know, pretty good, you know. Well, then Herm, of course, he wants to know what he's going to get, you know. So she just sees it. He's got written down there that he works in a factory. She says, well, can you tell me in just a few words, maybe, just what kind of work you does, you know? And he says, well, yeah, he says, diesel fitter, yeah, that's a diesel fitter, And she says, oh, yeah, diesel fitter. And she's looking through her book, and she says, yeah, she says, you ought to get $45, maybe even $50 a week. Well, Marv, he says, how's come he gets so much more than me, you know? He works right alongside of me, right there on the line. And she says, well, what is it you actually do? And he says, well, I sews up the last part of the women's underwear, he says. I sew in the crotch. And then Herm here, he just picks up them panties and holds them up to the mannequin there and says, yeah, diesel fitter. And he gets more money for that.